Hi, it's Clara, staying by your side with songs and words. Today, I'd like to talk about detaching the past. When something doesn't go well, do you ever find yourself stuck thinking about it over and over and unable to move on? That happens to me a lot too. But recently, I experienced a failure that I was surprisingly able to accept without feeling too down about it. That made me wonder what makes some failures easier to move on from and others harder. It all started with mistakes at work. The other day, I had two things that didn't go well in a row. The first one was an obvious mistake that anyone could see. The second one was when my boss gave me some advice about the lack of my knowledge and how I approach work. He asked me a question I couldn't answer at all, and while explaining the right answer, he kindly offered advice on how to improve. It wasn't scolding, it was gentle advice. Of course, the first mistake bothered me, but I could quickly tell myself, well, it's done. I'll be more careful next time. The second one, though, stayed in my head. Even while eating or lying in bed, I kept replaying that moment. Although I tend to ruminate, I realized that there are failures I can simply learn from and move on, and others that I can't. So I started thinking about the difference. Why do some failures make me dwell on them too much? At the core, the two failures weren't so different. What I did in the first mistake and how I responded in that second mistake can't be changed no matter how many times I replay them in my mind. But the difference was what I was focusing on. When I'm stuck on the failure, here's what happens in my head. I replay the scene of what happened. It's a fact, something that already occurred. And as I watch it again in my mind, I start thinking, why did I say that? I really don't like that part of myself. Even when I try to think more positively, it's like, I wish I could be more like this instead. No matter how much I replay it, the event doesn't change and my anxiety doesn't go away. But actually, these two things need to be detached. The scene being replayed is a fact. It belongs to the past. The thoughts that come up are about the future. What kind of person I want to be, or what kind of person I don't want to be. And the future can be changed. If I can detach the two, then I might be able to think this failure is a seed for growth, or I can use this for the next time. Of course, some worries can't be fixed, but at the very least, what happened in the past and who I want to be in the future are separate things. When we mix them up, thinking about the future while staring at the past, we end up stuck in an endless loop that has no solution. That's why when people say things like, learn from it or it's a chance to grow, sometimes it doesn't feel right. Because we are still trapped in thinking it's already too late, the past can't be changed. So it's important to organize what actually happened and what thoughts we are having about it. When you're feeling down, one useful thing is to write it out. Writing has many benefits, and one of them is that it helps you organize your thoughts. People like me who tend to ruminate often blur the line between the past and future. When everything stays in your head, it's hard to separate them, and your feelings about what happened just keep getting bigger. So when that happens, try writing it down. This is the fact. This is my thought. Making it visible helps you detach the two. And about what already happened, it's okay if you can't see it as a seed of growth yet. It's enough to think, what's done is done. That was the bad thing, but it can't be helped. As for your thoughts, if possible, try changing I had this side of me into I want to become more like this. I'm not great at it either, but it helps a little. In any case, don't deny either your positive or negative feelings. And if you can, tell yourself, I'm doing my best to think about my future. That's great. So today, we talk about detaching yourself from what happened and learning to let go. It might not be an instant fix when you're stuck on the past, but I hope it helps you slowly shift your perspective. On this channel, I share thoughts like this about mental health and also post singing videos. If you're interested, please subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Bye!